Opening hook. Listen carefully. The day you become afraid of losing money is the day you stop thinking like a trader and start thinking like a gambler. I learned this lesson in the most painful way possible. I made millions. I lost millions. I rose to the top of Wall Street, and I watched my fortunes disappear more than once. And through all those victories and disasters, I discovered one truth that separates successful traders from everyone else. Successful traders never fear losing money. Yes, they respect loss. They manage risk. They hate unnecessary mistakes. But they never fear losing money. Because the moment fear enters your trading decisions, your mind becomes your biggest enemy. You hesitate. You move your stop loss. You close winning trades too early. You hold losing trades too long. And eventually, the market punishes you. Today, I want to teach you why great traders are not afraid of losses and how you can develop the same mindset. Because until you conquer your fear of losing money, you will never conquer the markets. Pause. Let me tell you something that most beginners never understand. A loss is not a tragedy. A loss is simply the cost of doing business. Imagine opening a restaurant. Would you expect every customer to buy your food? Of course not. Imagine running a clothing store. Would you expect every product to sell? No. Then why do traders expect every trade to be profitable? This expectation destroys more accounts than bad analysis. The market owes you nothing. It doesn't know your name. It doesn't care about your opinions. It doesn't know your entry price. The market simply moves. And your job is not to predict every movement. Your job is to manage risk while participating in opportunity. That is why successful traders never fear losing money. They understand something beginners don't. One trade means nothing. I repeat, one trade means absolutely nothing. Your career as a trader is not defined by one trade. It is defined by thousands of decisions made over many years. A professional trader thinks in probabilities. He knows that even the greatest trading setup can fail. I have seen perfect chart patterns collapse. I have seen terrible-looking trades become huge winners. Nothing is certain. The only certainty is uncertainty. And when you truly accept uncertainty, fear begins to disappear. Because you no longer need to be right every time. You only need to follow your process. Pause. Let me tell you a story. During my early years, I was obsessed with being right. Every losing trade felt like a personal attack. I fought the market. I argued with prices. I averaged down. I held losers. I refused to admit mistakes. And what happened? The market humiliated me, again and again. Eventually I realized something. The market is never wrong. Opinions are often wrong. The moment I accepted this truth, my trading changed forever. I stopped defending my positions. I stopped marrying my trades. I stopped fearing losses. Because losses became information. Every loss told me something. Every loss was feedback. Every loss was tuition. And every loss made me stronger. This is the psychology of great traders. They don't ask, how can I avoid losses? They ask, how can I keep my losses small? There is a huge difference. Because losses cannot be avoided. But they can be controlled. Pause. Think about a professional poker player. He can make the correct decision and still lose the hand. Does he panic? No. Because he understands probabilities. Trading is the same. You can have the perfect setup, the perfect risk management, the perfect entry, and still lose money. That doesn't make you a bad trader. It simply means probability didn't favor you this time. The beginner says, I lost money. My strategy is broken. The professional says, I followed my rules. Next trade. That simple difference creates millionaires. Pause. Fear of losing money comes from one dangerous habit. Trading with money you cannot afford to lose. When your rent money is on the line, when your grocery money is on the line, when your family's security is on the line, every candle becomes terrifying. You cannot think objectively. You become emotional. You force trades. You revenge trade. You overtrade. And eventually your account collapses. Successful traders avoid this trap. They trade with risk capital. They know exactly how much they can lose before entering a trade. The money is mentally gone the moment they press the buy button. This is why they remain calm, because uncertainty no longer threatens their survival. Pause. I want you to remember something I learned after losing fortunes. The market rewards emotional stability, not intelligence, not predictions, not secret indicators. Emotional stability. A calm trader can think. A fearful trader cannot. Fear narrows your vision. Fear destroys discipline. Fear makes you abandon your system. Fear turns professionals into gamblers. This is why successful traders spend more time mastering themselves than mastering charts. Because the real battle is never against the market. The real battle is against your emotions. Pause. I once said, there is nothing new on Wall Street, because human nature never changes. Fear and greed remain the same. 100 years ago, traders feared losses. Today, traders fear losses. 100 years from now, traders will still fear losses. But the winners will be the same people. Those who accept uncertainty and control risk. The market transfers money from the emotional to the disciplined. Always. Pause. Let me give you a practical example. Imagine two traders. Both have a $10,000 account. Trader number 1 risks 50% on one trade. Trader number 2 risks only 1%. The market moves against them. Trader 1 loses $5,000. Fear takes over. He cannot sleep. He becomes desperate. He starts revenge trading. His account eventually disappears. Trader 2 loses only $100. He feels nothing. He reviews the trade. He waits for another setup. And he continues trading calmly. Who has the better chance of long-term success? The second trader. Why? Because fear never gained control. Successful traders are not fearless because they are brave. They are fearless because they manage risk intelligently. Risk management creates confidence. Confidence removes fear. Pause. I want you to understand one final lesson. Your goal is not to avoid losses. Your goal is to survive long enough to catch the big opportunities. I made most of my fortunes from a few enormous moves, not hundreds of small trades. A trader may lose 10 times and then make one massive winning trade that changes everything. But that only happens if he survives. Small losses buy survival. Survival creates opportunity. Opportunity creates wealth. This is why successful traders never fear losing money, because they know losses are temporary. Discipline is permanent. Powerful ending. So the next time you take a loss, do not ask, why did this happen to me? Ask yourself, did I follow my rules? If the answer is yes, then smile, because you behaved like a professional. Remember this, a trader who fears losing money cannot think clearly. A trader who accepts losses can act with confidence, and confidence, discipline, and patience are the qualities that build great fortunes. I lost millions and earned millions, and if I could leave you with one lesson, it would be this. Never fear losing money. Fear only one thing, breaking your discipline, because money lost can be earned again. But once discipline is destroyed, the market will take everything from you. Trade with patience. Risk little. Think in probabilities. Protect your capital, and let the market do the rest. I am Jesse Livermore, and the greatest secret of trading psychology is this. The successful trader does not fear losing money. He fears losing control of himself. Continue script. Now let me tell you something that took me years to understand. Most traders think money is their biggest problem. It isn't. Their biggest problem is their relationship with money. The market exposes who you really are. If you are impatient, the market will reveal your impatience. If you are greedy, the market will reveal your greed. If you are fearful, the market will expose your fear. Trading is one of the few professions where your personality directly affects your income. This is why two traders can use the same strategy and achieve completely different results. One trader becomes profitable. The other blows up his account. The charts were identical. The indicators were identical. The market conditions were identical. The difference was psychology. I have seen intelligent men fail in speculation because they could not control their emotions, and I have seen ordinary men become successful because they mastered discipline. The market does not pay you for being smart. It pays you for being emotionally consistent. Pause. Every loss tests your character. After a losing trade, your mind immediately begins asking dangerous questions. What if I never recover? What if my strategy doesn't work? What if everyone else is making money except me? These questions create fear, and fear creates poor decisions. This is why successful traders never allow one trade to define their confidence. They understand a simple principle. Anything can happen. A perfect setup can fail. An imperfect setup can win. You cannot control outcomes. You can only control your actions. And once you accept this reality, you stop carrying the emotional weight of every trade. You become free. Pause. I remember times when I lost large amounts of money. People imagine that great traders never experience pain. That is nonsense. Losses hurt. No man enjoys seeing money disappear. The difference is this. Professionals recover quickly. Amateurs remain emotionally trapped. A professional loses money and asks, "What can I learn?" An amateur loses money and asks, "How can I get my money back immediately?" That question destroys countless accounts. Because revenge is not a trading strategy. The market has no memory. It doesn't know you lost money yesterday. It doesn't owe you compensation. Yet traders behave as though the market must return what it took. They double their positions. They ignore risk. They trade impulsively, and then they suffer even larger losses. Never trade to recover money. Trade only when opportunity exists. Pause. I learned another valuable lesson. Money follows patience. Most people enter the market seeking excitement, but excitement and profits rarely live in the same room. The best trades are often boring. The best traders are often patient. The best opportunities sometimes take weeks or months to appear. Yet fear pushes traders into action. They believe they must constantly trade. They believe they must always be in the market. This is false. There are times when doing nothing is the most profitable decision. I made some of my biggest fortunes simply by waiting. As I once said, it never was my thinking that made the big money for me. It always was my sitting. Think about those words. It was my sitting, not my constant buying, not my constant selling. My patience, the ability to wait, the ability to remain calm, the ability to let the market come to me. Fear destroys patience. Fear says, if you don't enter now, you'll miss the opportunity. Fear says, take profits quickly before the market reverses. Fear says, move your stop loss. Give the trade more room. Every one of these thoughts leads to mistakes. Successful traders develop trust in their process. Trust is extremely important. Without trust, every market movement feels dangerous. Without trust, every candle creates anxiety. Without trust, you become emotionally exhausted. But when you trust your system, losses no longer scare you. You understand that losses are simply part of the business. Imagine a casino owner. Does he panic when one customer wins? Of course not, because he knows his edge plays out over hundreds and thousands of games. The professional trader thinks exactly the same way. One trade means nothing. 10 trades mean little. 100 trades begin to reveal the truth. This long-term perspective removes fear, because the trader no longer lives and dies with every position. I want to share another secret. The market rewards people who can remain emotionally neutral. Neutrality is power. When prices rise, don't become euphoric. When prices fall, don't become depressed. Remain balanced. Most traders allow the market to control their emotions. Successful traders control themselves. This emotional stability allows them to see opportunities that emotional traders cannot see. Fear creates blindness. Calmness creates clarity. This is why emotional control is a competitive advantage. Pause. Consider this example. A stock falls 10%. The fearful trader panics. He sells everything. A disciplined trader studies the situation. He asks, has the trend changed? Has my reason for entering disappeared? Is this normal market behavior? Notice the difference. One trader reacts emotionally. The other responds rationally. Markets reward rationality. Pause. Another reason successful traders never fear losing money is because they understand the mathematics of survival. Protecting capital is everything. A trader who loses 50% of his account must make 100% just to recover. A trader who loses 80% of his account needs a 400% gain. This is why professionals avoid large losses at all costs. Small losses are manageable. Large losses are destructive. Every great trader eventually learns this lesson. You do not become wealthy by making huge profits. You become wealthy by avoiding huge mistakes. The market always offers another opportunity, but only to those who survive. When I was young, I thought making money was the hardest part of trading. I was wrong. Keeping money is far more difficult. Many traders can make money during favorable conditions. Few can protect those profits. Why? Because success creates overconfidence. and overconfidence creates carelessness. A trader wins several times. He begins believing he cannot lose. He increases position size. He ignores risk. He becomes reckless. Then the market reminds him of reality. The market humbles everyone. Eventually, this is why successful traders respect risk even after great victories. Confidence is important. Arrogance is fatal. Pause. I want you to remember something. The market is not your enemy. Losses are not your enemy. Fear is your enemy. Because fear changes your behavior. Fear causes hesitation. Fear creates impulsive actions. Fear destroys discipline. And without discipline, no strategy can save you. The indicator does not matter. The entry technique does not matter. The secret pattern does not matter. If fear controls your decisions, failure eventually follows. This is why trading psychology is more important than prediction. Master yourself first. The money comes later. Pause. Years from now, you will not remember every trade. You will not remember every candle. You will not remember every indicator. But you will remember the lessons. You will remember the times fear made you break your rules. You will remember the times patience rewarded you. You will remember the moments when discipline protected your capital. Those experiences will shape you. Because successful traders are not born. They are built. Built through losses. Built through mistakes. Built through patience. Built through emotional control. And eventually they reach a point where losses no longer terrify them. They understand that losing money is temporary, but losing discipline can destroy an entire career. Emotional closing. So if you lose money tomorrow, remain calm. If you lose money next week, remain calm. If a trade fails, remain calm. Because one trade cannot define you. 1 week cannot define you. 1 month cannot define you. The market always gives another opportunity, as long as you protect your capital and protect your mind. Remember this, your first job is not making money. Your first job is surviving. Your second job is controlling yourself. And only then does making money become possible. I learned this lesson through pain, through failure, and through experience. And if my years in speculation have taught me anything, it is this. The trader who fears losing money will always remain a prisoner of emotion. But the trader who accepts losses, respects risk, and remains disciplined will eventually achieve the freedom that every trader seeks. Because in the end, the greatest edge in the market is not an indicator. It is not a secret strategy. It is not information. The greatest edge is a calm mind. Protect your capital. Protect your discipline. Protect your emotions. And never fear losing money. Fear only becoming the kind of trader who cannot control himself.